Greetings, greetings, humanity. Greetings, one and all. And welcome to Channel Otherdoc. I am Jim. I use he, him pronouns. And today, we are playing a one-shot of InSpectres, a comedic paranormal investigation game by Jared Sorensen. This is the first ever game I ran on the channel, and I'm very pleased to get to do another one-shot of it again. Let's go ahead and go around and say hi to everyone and find out who they are and who they're playing. And we will start with Anino. Hello!
Never get started first. What's this? Hey everyone, my name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns, and for this one shot of InSpectres, I am playing a character by the name of Go Ichinabi. He also uses he, him pronouns, and no one knows what his actual job title is because everyone's too afraid to ask.
Excellent, excellent. All right, and now let us head over to Mariam. Hello.
I am Mariam. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be playing bad to the bone. And they also use they, them pronouns, and they are the bone collector because they're in charge of the skeleton crew.
Yes. And we'll be addressing the skeleton crew shortly. But let us go around to Kupo. Hello.
Hello, I'm Kupo. My name is I'm Kupo. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be playing Harley Way today. And their pronouns are they, them, and their job title is the Fixer. They believe that the Fixer was. They thought the Fixer was basically to be a more physical, like I can do anything you need me to with brute strength, but. Little did they know Fixer is usually for like journalists and like more admin type jobs, so no one told them that, so who knows.
It could have been any number of things. It's really hard to say. And now finally let us head over to Alyssa. Hello.
Hello, my name is Alyssa. I am playing Grace Penta. We both have she, her pronouns, and I am a librarian.
Excellent. Awesome. So this stream, actually, it's this is a charity stream we're doing for RACES, the Refugee and Immigrant Center for Educational and Legal Services. So if you want to donate, you can type !RAICES into the chat, and that'll give you a link where you can go and donate. Right now we are, where are we? We're still at, we're in sort of the 240s there.
We are, I don't know who did this, but we're 31 cents short of 250.
So close.
249.69.
So close.
Nice.
Thanks to nice.
It's actually the right number, actually. You don't need to round up. You truly don't.
So please donate whole dollar amounts if at all possible.
Yeah, just in whole dollars amount.
But definitely get over there and check that out. Anino, did you want to tell us a little bit about, this is a campaign, a thing that you do every year with charities. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so every October's my birth month, and it's a pretty awesome month with fall coming around and Halloween in the air, and so this is basically my birthday party, since I'm too chicken to celebrate it in public with folks during the pandemic, and I'm glad that some of my most favorite players in the TTRPG universe have agreed to join me on this campaign and this one shot. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with RACES, it's a nonprofit organization out in San Antonio, Texas, that provides education and legal services to refugees and immigrants. My parents were immigrants from the Philippines who, escaped the country under the Marcos regime, and, they were afforded a lot of rights and care in their migration. Stuff that is unfortunately not being extended to today's migrants and refugees. And So Racist is out there to help guide these folks through some pretty dehumanizing migration policies right now. So, if you're like the folks from Utopia and other BIMPOC folks in the TTRPG sphere and want to help build a compassionate society, Races is one of those organizations out there that is working towards those ends.
Excellent. Absolutely awesome. This is these things are incredibly important. So please, for goodness sake, do head over. Your initial goal is 1,000. It looks like. So yeah, folks, please go and hit the link. It's going to be in the rotation. It's going to keep popping up. So do check that out. And as far as this stream itself goes, as just kind of as a reminder for folks, like we do with other games on this channel, we're going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, hold up a card or make an X symbol, and we'll go back and do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat, and we'll fade to black on it or put it behind a veil. So it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think, maybe that might have been a little too much. Then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. We're also using the pause. If any of us needs to take some time, we can ask for a pause in the game while we discuss things or just take a break for as long as anyone needs. As a reminder, just a few content warnings. So this game has the potential for discussions of death, forensic details, ghostly activity, poltergeists, possession, some potential bodily harm, drowning, asphyxiation, and a light possibility of character versus character conflict, depending on how things go. At any time, you can type !INSCW, and it just showed it. But here's the command anyway, INSCW, for that to pop up. And that'll have the list of content warnings there. Also, please remember that we have an open door policy, which means that any of us and any of you can feel free to step away from this at any time if we need to. It's just a game, and mental health is always more important. Now, the amusing thing here that I have suddenly realized is that there was a thing I was going to grab to help illustrate where we are located, and you're going to get a slight hint for a half a second. Well, it's right there. So I'm just going to grab this thing, but you're going to get a hint for a half second as you see the what is behind me, as to where this particular game is going to be set tonight. 1 second.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Ooh, that is such a...
Oh, it's on!
Thank you for vamping.
On!
I appreciate it.
It's
yes.
on!
We're in
It's
Vegas.
so good.
So I figured I'd go ahead and throw on the horrible coat.
As much as I love it, do you have like a cowboy hat? Like a Western cowboy hat? That would just...
Do you want to vamp for another second? For another few seconds?
Oh crap!
Yeah.
You do have it? Heck yes! Yes!
So, happy birthday, Anino!
Happy birthday, Anino!
Thank you for
I'm
dinner.
Yes, that was a very delicious dinner that I did not have to cook.
Okay, I guess we're doing this.
Yes! It was worth it.
Worth it. Hashtag worth it.
All right, y'all. Welcome to the last. Well, no, dear God.
Oh no. Oh no.
There was a game I ran called Las Vegas, and I used this hat in that game last. And I used that same background, actually, also. But not this coat, thankfully. It's a completely different experience. Completely different. Dear God, I hope it's... no, actually, that was a fun game. But we must set up your franchise, if we may. So, the way that this works. So we have determined that you have your franchise exists not terribly far from the Vegas Strip, if I read the map correctly. We have. Let me go ahead and actually let me look at the notes here to show us what was happening. That basically it was. I think we decided that there were there were initial sort of investors that kind of just pulled out, and so it's just been sort of slowly collapsing under its own weight ever since. Am I reading that right?
Pretty much.
Sounds about right to me. Yeah.
Excellent. So yeah, you basically have this down on in what Las Vegas would be sort of Fremont Street, in these what look like these low flat buildings. By and large, is what you're going to see. Kind of, it's not too far away, not too terribly far away from the main strip. And we described a number of details. You have a number of skeletons that are there that we don't know whether or not they are prop skeletons or if they're actual skeletons. Perhaps there's a mix. I don't know.
Well, Funny Bones is actually made of plastic. That's why we call them Funny Bones.
And so there is at least that one plastic skeleton. Do these skeletons move on their own, or are these just props?
Well, there are at least 4 humanoid skeletons. They just happen to be wearing meat suits.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. It's fair. It's understandable. I mean, that is helpful. That is helpful. The ones. But I suspected there were more. That's the only thing. I feel as though there perhaps were more. But I guess we'll reveal those details as time elapses here. But essentially, when you are building your franchise here, you have a certain amount of resources that you can assign, which we can do pretty much now. Let me go to the franchise screen so everyone will see what I am talking about. So you're going to get 10 franchise dice to distribute amongst. You've got 4 areas there. So you have essentially they are different cards, as it were. So the different cards help you can help you sort of augment different rolls that you're going to be making. The library card dice can be used. It's a common pool, basically, that you can pull from. Dice from the library card can be used to augment your academics rolls. Dice put on the gym card can be used to augment your athletics rolls, and that represents sort of gym equipment or memberships you have access to. So say, for example, if you have dice on the library card, that sort of means you have, maybe you have a library, or maybe you have access to lore of some kind. The credit card is used to augment your technology rolls, so that you can use, basically if you're buying stuff or what have you. But it's also for just anytime you're using technology, and technology is a very broadly applied term in this game, by the way. And then, of course, you have the bank slip there, and that represents your bank. Because you don't have a specific card there that will augment contact rolls, but if you pull dice from the bank, that can augment anything. But there are special things that happen depending on what die, on what the bank die comes. Dice from the bank come up as, and anytime you're rolling in roll 20. I'm going to count any of the last dice that we see on that roll are going to be what I'm considering your bank dice. and there's a little table in there that will show what happens when you hit different results on the bank dice, sort of independently of you know, whether you know the pool itself is a success. Whatever happens in the pool still happens, but different results on the bank dice cause the whatever you've got stored in the bank to be affected differently. Sometimes that can mean you grow what you have in the bank. Sometimes that can just eliminate it altogether. So you have to be careful if you're rolling with bank dice. So you folks can now, as a group, decide where you want to distribute these 10 dice.
Oh, it says feel the burn. I read it as something else.
Wait, what?
I see it.
No, that's yes, that's there's a very small, tiny division there in the. That's a very interesting font. That's a very, very interesting font.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
there.
that's one way to be in a gym.
Oh, I see it now.
Honestly, I read that as feel the guam, but you know.
I read it as feel the bum.
Oh man, I could see that. I could see both versions.
There are a lot of things that could be.
There's a lot of feelings about that gym.
So I take it we're gonna invest. We're gonna put our money.
I mean, if you ask first.
I know Harley would for sure.
I know that definitely, since we are supernatural hunters and whatnot, that perhaps it is useful to invest in the occult emporium. I would say
Smart thinking.
at least 3 or 4 dice.
Okay, that works.
I concur.
So I guess we just move them there.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
What was it? 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have 6 more dice there.
Do we want to invest 2 dice on the gym? The gym with all the feels?
I was thinking at least 2 to support that bum. I mean, burn.
I mean, Grace is a bit of a pyromaniac, so
You gotta cover at least both cheeks.
Yep.
Yeah,
Symmetry.
1 for each cheek.
Has to be equal. Symmetry. Symmetry.
Professional streamers.
It's also like
you can't be
physically-
half a martial artist.
Yeah.
You can't
And-
half-ass it.
That and that counts for you know, that it's just body safety. You know, you have to treat the muscles equally.
This is Vegas. It's a very hard town, so.
Hard.
Yes, we need to have buns of steel.
We gotta bounce coins off that. Off the chain.
Yeah. I mean, there might be
Okay, let's
slow
move on.
periods in the business. That's all. Do we just want to split 2 for the other remaining parts?
Yeah?
Yeah. Unless
Okay.
Okay, just so you'll know, the library card, down here. I assumed you were putting those on the library card because
Yeah.
Can I just show you real quick? Yeah, the Occult Emporium is not actually putting the dice on the Occult Emporium does not actually affect anything mechanically.
Oh.
Oh.
So you've got, I'm sorry,
And then
I
2
should have
on the
clicked
back.
here. You've got the library card for academics roll, you've got the gym card for athletics rolls, and you've got the credit card for technology rolls, and then the bank slip for everything else.
Oh, the bank
Oh.
slip. What does the bank
So-
slip cover?
The bank slip can cover anything, but when you use a die from the bank, whatever, depending on what happens with that die, depending on what number comes up on that die, that can affect all the dice that you have in the bank.
Oh.
And the bankroll chart's under the handouts if you want to look and see what
Okay.
kinds of things can happen there.
Ah, okay. Compounded interest.
Ooh.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, two at least for the
Yeah.
bank.
Cool. So you're happy with that setup? 4 on the library card, 2 on the gym card, 3 on the library card, 2 on the gym card, and 3 on the credit card, and the rest of the bank.
Because I think probably have the athletic stuff covered fairly well. So,
Excellent. All right. So, let's see. So, as far as this goes, so mainly when you're going to be when we go in and do these rolls that you're going to be doing, obviously these are going to be your skill rolls. And so anytime you want to use one of the dice on here, it's a communal pool, but once you use it, then it is gone. So do keep that in mind. When you are successful, you're going to notice certain different results that come up that say you get mission tokens. You're going to get a certain. We're going to set a goal for this game. It's probably going to be a little bit fluid depending on timing for how many tokens you need to complete the mission. I'm probably going to start us at around 10, like 10 to 12, and we'll see kind of how things are going, and I may add to that depending if it looks like we've got more time to see if we can get more. Anytime you roll stress, that's going to have an effect potentially on how your character is feeling. But and I want to be very clear about this. You may interpret the results of the table however you wish when that comes out. This is kind of basically this game's version of a sanity roll, if you want to think in terms of like Call of Cthulhu. It usually will come up when something stressful happens, or if you see something supernatural or something happens that's going to be difficult. And then the equipment roll is when you're trying to gear up, and we'll get into that when you start gearing up and looking for things that you want to use. I also let folks make equipment rolls even if they're already on the mission and they just want to say they always had this thing with them. We can use the equipment roll for that too. I'm probably always going to let you have something when you make an equipment roll, but depending on the result will tell us how reliable that thing is, essentially. Now, there's one other mechanic I just want to briefly explain that is the most reality-bendy mechanic in this game, and that is what we refer to as the confessional. Now, the way the confessional works, part of the premise of this game, part of the conceit of this game, is that it is also somewhat a reality show. You are essentially being filmed by a crew. We don't really have the crew in the game per se, unless you want them there. But we will have different points where you can just basically directly address the camera. You can do that whenever you like. But if you want to actually use the confessional mechanic, the way that's going to work is that once per scene for the entire group can use a confessional. And that means that one of you can then directly address the camera and narrate to affect things, to affect the game, basically, to affect what's happening. You can use it to change things that are going to happen. You can hint at something and say, it was so we were wandering around there for hours. It was really lucky we finally found that exit door, and then you can come back and eventually you'll find an exit door. It'll happen because you've just put it in there. You can change things that are going on right now about the sort of the setting around you. It's like I'd always heard that this place was something like what was it? I had always heard that this place was built very close to a church, if you want to use that, say, for example, and then there'll be a church there. Then you can also You can also affect the past actually as well, which is really sort of very similar. And the best use I ever heard of this, and I always use this as an example, was on an actual play podcast that I heard of this, where there was a team facing down some demons, and the only weapons they'd been able to get with their equipment rolls were super soakers. And someone used a confessional in that scene to say, thankfully, before we left, we filled the super soakers with holy water. And then they went back and they now had weapons usable against the demons. So like I said, you can address the camera all you like, but if you want to use a confessional, you as a group can do that once per scene. So does that make sense? Yep. Does anyone have any questions about the mechanics of the game before or anything else further on that before we dive in? Yep. Also, those of you, if you have talents that you've written down, that just basically gives you an extra die if it applies to whatever role you're doing. Also, just so you're aware. So you each should, except for our weird agent, we do have one weird agent. We won't say who it is yet. We'll see if people can figure it out. Then the rest of you should have one talent that can apply to a certain number of things in your field. Okay. So if we are ready, we're going to go ahead and start the reality show that is InSpectres, and kind of go from there, and we'll sort of see what it is we see. We'll start painting the scenery, and we'll kind of go from there. Let me actually go ahead and really quickly, while this is going on, I'm going to grab a name because that would be helpful. There we go. Okay. I'm going to have that ready. All right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go around and we're each going to introduce our characters as one, and to tell us, give us sort of like a shot of something that, an establishing shot, something that we would see of your character to establish who they are. We see them doing something, as one would in a reality show. And then we're going to cut to a quick little bit of you addressing the camera, as though perhaps you're being interviewed, or just as though you are just saying something about yourself, possibly why it is that perhaps the interviewer has asked you why it is that you joined InSpectres and what you're looking to find. We'll say that is potentially the question, but take that wherever you like. And we'll go ahead and go around, and whoever wants to go first can leap in first with and just say who wants to go first, and I will switch to your appropriate camera. Or shall I pick on someone? All right. Let's see.
We're all very polite.
Hmm?
We're all very polite.
That's fair. Hey, wait, I'm going to roll a 4-sided die. I have Roll20 at my disposal. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to set it up based on the way the overlay is set up. 3. Okay, Kupo, would you like to go first?
With my luck, sure, why not?
All right. What do we see?
Okay, so we're in our office, if it can be called that at this point, and you see Harley is not at their desk. They are probably in one of the, maybe a very like spare, one of the rooms that was probably had a purpose at some point, but now it's kind of defunct and not really being taken care of. So now they kind of use it as their gym space, so to speak. There's like a sort of mirror kind of up against the wall, and they're kind of well, at this point in time, they kind of have like they have a kettlebell, and they're like doing kettlebell swings and watching and make sure their form is okay, and then that kind of switches. The scene changes to the interview with the camera, and
Harley's like, oh wait, but before that, have we decided how long it's been since like our franchise or our company has been kind of like on the dumps?
Maybe it's like just been a year.
A year? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, so Harley turns to the is staring at the camera, just like, well, first of all, Harley is not like buff, not like Thunder from Down Under buff, but like toned. Like there is purpose in every sinew of their figure. And they have long hair tied up in a high ponytail, and they're wearing kind of like they're usually wearing a crop top of some sort, either a crop sweater or something, and then just like very loose, comfortable like pants, usually good for practicing or something. And so they're staring at the camera, maybe some sweat glistening probably from a workout, and it's just like, well, it's kind of been a year since I've joined, you know, and honestly I came for you know, I mean, who wouldn't want to join you know, our company that was just like working with supernatural beings and on the City of Sin, you know? Like, how much better can you get? But well, it that wasn't it, and so I don't know if this is like company policy, you know, but I have a side job to kind of keep ends meet, you know. I'm in a strip show called Q. It's one of the it's, you know, it's for you know, Q for queer, you know, it's one of the first shows for genderqueer bodies, you know, and it's doing really well, so it's hard to give it up, you know, but I don't know until things kind of shape up here. I don't know what else to do. But you know, I'm loyal, you know, like I like to think so. So yeah, and kind of just trails off.
You think the camera just stays on there for just...
Yeah, stays on. It's just like, yeah. And then kind of just stares straight and kind of looks to the side and looks at the camera and shrugs again until they cut off.
Awesome. Who would like to go next?
I think I would like to segue into that, where there's a bit of a pullback, and you see that behind the camera there's a skeleton with a director's beret. And then you see behind there's a person wearing all black, very Hot Topic goth sort of clothing, and it's just sort of fine-tuning that beret and giving a big thumbs up to Harley. And then it cuts to the confessional, and before like, you know, this person is named Bad and is like very pale for a melanated person, and there's like 2 scars over here that are like, there's all these signs that perhaps something's not quite right. And then Bad goes, "Hi, I'm Bad to the bone. I'm the bone collector here. I let's just say I take care of our skeleton crew and their needs." And it kind of very quickly cuts to random skeletons that are like, there's like their security guards or whatever, but they've got these really loud pop star wigs on them. There's one sort of golden with like ponytails, and it's like, okay, Emma Boneton, you're gonna stay put here. and then moves to a very sort of frizzy redhead and be like, "Okay, Skellywell, you can stand here." And comes back to Bad and says, it's actually been a really good year for me since we had to downsize to a skeleton crew. I'm very happy. I feel like my life has no more purpose now. And at that point, it can cut to someone else.
I just have to say, I just love the idea that maybe management just sort of said, yes, you need you to reduce to a skeleton crew, and you took that to mean you go out and get actual skeletons.
Yep.
Like,
awesome.
literally.
Yes, excellent. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, who wants to go next?
I think after the whole bit about the skeleton crew, it cuts to a shot of Grace. She's got dark hair and glasses and kind of that like dark academia aesthetic. And she is going over the books, balancing the ledgers, and she is kind of probably like shaking for her head. It does not look good. Like everyone else is happy, but she's trying to figure out how to juggle various accounts and that sort of thing.
Are the wigs a big expenditure you didn't expect?
They would be if she didn't have some friends in like a theater.
Nice.
So then when it cuts to her interview, she says, yeah, I joined InSpectres after I had some paranormal encounters in high school. We, a group of friends and I, we called ourselves the Breakfast Cult. We sort of dealt with a little bit of an extraplanar incursion. And I figured I was too weird to do anything else, so here I am.
Excellent. And so we have only one more person to cut over to, and that is Go. So what do we see?
So it cuts to a clip, and you see a Japanese man in his 50s wearing a fedora and a bowling shirt. And he's brawling outside in front of the Bellagio fountains. He's brawling with some were-pandas. And so you just see him going, hit me, come on, hit me. And this were-panda rears up and punches Go in the chest. And he just backs up a couple of steps. And retaliates with a giant clothesline, which takes the were-panda off his hind legs and into the fountain. And then you sort of just see it cuts back to the office, close-up of Go Ishinobi sitting in his room. And he starts talking in Japanese, and then a proper voiceover cuts over his dialogue, and you start seeing subtitles. It sounds like one of the guys that used to do voiceovers for Iron Chef Japan. And he says, I found life in Tokyo very boring after years of service to the Tojo clan. And I thought to myself, what would the great hero of mine do? And you slowly see the camera pan back. And you see that this office is basically an otaku's paradise. There's like bookshelves of manga series. You see IKEA displays in glass with anime figures in there. You'll see like a flat screen on the wall playing One Piece. And then you see a giant austere portrait of Luffy behind him. And so I did what Luffy would do, and I sailed for the Grand Line. The Grand Line was Las Vegas. And that's it.
I hate you, Anino. The Grand Line of Las Vegas. Get out. Get out.
Delightful. Excellent. So we're going to basically then cut to our first bit. Where would we normally? So let's say it is a it's mid-afternoon. There is outside some degree of blazing heat, which I assume happens year-round in Las Vegas, and so it's one of those afternoons where you basically there's a bit of a haze, and where would we find who mans the front? Do you have like someone who mans the telephones? Do you folks do that yourself? How does this work?
We have basically we have Funny Bone man the desks.
Okay, all right.
Funny Bone's the only one made of plastic.
Okay, all right. It's just out of curiosity, because I have to decide how I'm going to tackle this. Has Funny ever actually routed a call to you before, or to any of you before?
Occasionally.
Okay, all right. So I think that it's pretty much just picked up usually by whoever is available, I'm guessing. But there'll be a sort of a general a text comes in from the front desk, saying that there is that just in these sort of it's kind of I think it's been texted out that it's like a preset text. It's always the same one, except when it was typed, it's like some of the letters are caps and some of them are lowercase, and it's not in like a particular, it doesn't like go back and forth a lot. It's just one of those things where it's like, maybe it's like initial caps for the first couple and then it just goes to all lowercase. But you know, it drags on like the first couple of letters for the first few words. And the text from the front desk that everyone gets. Presumably, on your phones, you've put Funny Bones' picture in there so that you see, you know, there's their little icon will pop up, and it will say that there is a call on line 2. There's an incoming call on line 2.
Do we take it in the conference room? All right. I guess we're in the conference room, and I guess on the loudspeaker press line 2
Okay.
to hear the message.
And so someone has been talking to your message system, and so you're going to catch them like halfway through as you get over there, and it's and you hear them say, "Well, no, I want to talk to a person. Can I talk to a person, please? Is there a person there? I need to." Did I get?
Hello?
Hello? Oh God! Oh, thank God! Is there a person there? Is that a? I have no idea what I was just talking
yes.
to. I think I was talking to a machine or something there for a minute.
Oh, that's just Funny Bone.
Oh, is that like your call interface?
No, that's our receptionist.
They just kept saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, Funny Bone's not the sharpest bulb in the forest.
bulb in the... Okay. That's interesting. Right. Well, no. This is the InSpectres. You folks deal with the kind of the sort of undesirable supernatural stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Good. That's good. I've got the right thing here. My name's Aiden Walker, and I am the lead caddy for the Wynn Golf Club. And we've got a kind of a thing over here. We're not sure what it is. That's probably, we don't know yet if it's going to start being a problem for the guests, but we kind of need to. They told me to call it in to see if anyone could come and take a look at it.
Sure. Can you describe any? Can you just give us more details so we know what to bring with us?
Right. Yes, details. Okay. Yeah. So we're not exactly sure precisely what it is. There's a how do I explain this? So it seems like there were for the last few nights, there have been people spotted just sort of wandering around the course. We thought at first it might just be rambunctious guests, or just some other folks have snuck in after the course is shut down. We had the and so we had that, yeah. So
So were they full-bodied, or were they transparent? Are we talking?
Well, the call, the thing is that these complaints, they kind of had to get routed a couple different ways, this particular complaint, because the call came in from apparently someone, someone, actually, let me find this real quick. Yeah, there we go. Apparently someone from like the top floor of the Renaissance called over. They're the ones that saw it, looking down into the court. It kind of took us a little bit. So we're playing kind of a game of telephone on it. They looked like people from very far away, as far as we could tell. The thing is that that also that I found this morning is that it seems like up around the I want to say the sixth hole. Around the 6th and 7th, well, it's more the 7th hole. There's not really a lot of room on the 6th. Maybe, yeah. But around not far from the 7th hole, there have been sort of mounds. I've been finding these mounds of dirt that were not there before. And it was sort of under some of the foliage, but these sort of open mounds of dirt, and like that, they're basically, someone's putting holes in the golf course, and they're pretty big. I don't know if it's connected to the people that were seen, but I mean, I kind of assume they sort of were just, sounded like they were just wandering around disoriented. According to what the, according to what the person who called and complained said. And so I don't really have many more details besides that. I can show you where, if y'all want to come over, I can show you where they've been spotted and where those mounds are.
Yeah, let us confer for a minute and let us get back to you. And I press the mute button and I sort of turn around.
Oh, thank you, sir. And he gets cut off.
So what do you think this is? Do you think these are like golf course, zombies?
I don't know. It kind of sounds like people were
drunk. You know, I don't know about this.
I mean, even if it is a prank, we still charge a service call fee, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we do, right?
Harley just looks around.
Yeah.
We do.
Goes just cracking his knuckles.
So I guess we go there. I mean, we could
Wha-
maybe pop a few holes ourselves while we're there.
Wait. Do we need to tell Caleb? I'm naming Caleb our manager.
Yeah.
Do we need to tell you need to tell him, you think?
Probably should.
I'll write up a report after it's done.
Yeah, what day is it? Thursday? It's probably at the Wind Buffet. Probably.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if we go investigate, we could just use the facilities. That would be pretty good.
Ooh. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, we'll take it. Tell him
All
bad.
Okay. Put them. I unmute and go like, yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there in stares at a watch. In 5 minutes.
Oh, that'd be great. No, I'll be here. You just let them know. Just let them know where you want them to. When you come in, who you are, and they'll be able to escort you back.
And we get to use the facilities, right? Because we need to investigate every nook and cranny, including the buffet.
Well, that's kind of inside the hotel. Is that going to help?
Well, in case we find out that, maybe it's something to do with the food, we just have to check off all our boxes.
Oh, I see. Well, yeah, I mean, whatever you need, that's what I was told.
And also maybe check out the spa a little too.
I mean, that's not really my purview, but I guess, it sounds like, they said whatever you need, so however that
Awesome.
works.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll see you there.
All right, I'll be waiting.
And then click.
So, what are you folks going to be doing to prepare for this?
God. Trying to remember if one has to bring something to a spa. I don't think so, right?
I collect my favorite bones to bring
Excellent.
that look like, especially ones that look like golf clubs.
Oh my God. Okay, so we are in the process of gearing up here.
Got a femur.
Femur. Yeah, I go visit Femur and Clavicle. And be like, hey, you're not using this right now, are you? And just like pull a femur.
Wow.
Like, I'll be back.
I thought you would have just had the skeletons follow you around so you didn't have to carry your golf clubs in a bag. And, you would just...
Yeah, I'll
Pull
ask
it
Count
up, or-
Scapula to carry my stuff.
Okay. No, they'll come along then, and they'll yeah. I think that'll be simple enough. The skeletons I'm not going to make you roll for. They're just there. So they will come with you. So are there any pieces of equipment? Now, the way this works, also gearing up, there are a couple of things I should explain here. First off, when you're gearing up, the person whose idea it is to have the thing is the one who has to make the roll. That's very important. So we're going to be going around, and I'm going to ask everyone, are there any pieces of equipment you want? And we'll sort of talk about it. That's not your last absolute chance to have equipment. You can still just sort of say that you have it in the middle, and we can roll for it then. But if there's anything you can think of now, this is when we do it. I will mention that, just if this helps, in the world of InSpectres, the supernatural is known not by everyone, but by enough people that it's not so much a thing that people are... I mean, people are afraid of it when it's like, breathing down their neck. But it's really more of an embarrassment to have to deal with the supernatural. So the InSpectres are in many ways considered like exterminators in some ways. So let's go around and figure out. So does anyone have any pieces of equipment they would like to have for this mission?
I would like a tablet with all the occult books and lore that I would be in it.
Okay. So the you can have at least a basic tablet with some information on it, but if you want if you want really cool stuff, I'm going to go ahead and have you make your technology roll for this. This is an equipment roll using your
instead of technology, I want to carry all my books, my big heavy tomes, because I realized that the way I built my character, not very tech savvy, and that is perfectly fine. It's going to be very kind of like carrying, I don't know, like 20 or 30 pounds of books.
Excellent. Now, just so you're aware, all equipment rolls are based on your technology stat. Just so you're aware. So you are still going to roll that number of dice for your equipment roll, and then we'll sort of see where things land. The better you roll in general, you're looking for a 4 at least, but the better you roll, the more awesome the stuff you have. And the worse you roll, the less awesome the stuff you have. That's basically what it looks like.
Okay. I'm still gonna go for the old books.
Absolutely.
That I think would be hilarious.
Absolutely. No, that's great.
Okay, so that I believe is just, I have a 1 in that, so that would just be 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just roll 1 die.
Do we want to use any of the die that's there? Like, I don't know, the library card?
Yeah, if you want to use you can use the credit card on this if you want.
Oh, the credit card.
Because this is technically from a it's tech roll.
Okay. No, then I think I will just use 1C.
Okay.
What happens? That would be. Oh wow.
Okay, so what you have is so you've got something incredibly rare on this tablet. you got a 6, so you have you can have pretty much anything you want on this thing as far as the books go.
Access to a Cultopedia.
Yeah, so you have an Occultopedia. You might actually even have access to a occult network set up by supernatural beings on this thing. You might have vampire internet. It's hard to know exactly what this is that you have.
The dark web.
Yes.
You open the book and there's actual spider webs in there.
Yeah.
Hollowed out.
So, and actually, yeah, you're right. You said it's not a data pad. You said it's actual physical books, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe it's one book that
got-
acts like a tablet.
Yeah, you've got a book you've got a magical book in there somewhere.
Yeah.
You've got the clippings book.
Yep.
So it'll pretty much, it's like it opens up and it's like, oh, this accesses other, because I'm trying to remember, you wanted the thing. So what you have, I think what you have is part of a messaging system that witches and warlocks and what have you used for a very long time, and still use. But you can then go through and basically you can essentially go through and read occult Fortran, 4chan, not Fortran, Jim. That's everyone's. Once upon a time, 20 years ago, I took programming languages, and they never left. How to actually use them left, but the names for some reason stuck. 4chan. I don't really know much about 4chan either. Okay, Jim, that's enough of that. Hi, I'm back.
Reddit.
Yeah,
Okay,
Reddit.
you don't
there
need to
you
know
go.
about 4chan.
Yeah, I probably don't. I probably don't.
No.
No.
We'll say that you have basically a medieval Reddit type deal, essentially, that is still being used today. And so you have that. Does anyone?
Redditch.
I'm sorry.
Redditch. Like Eldritch, but Reddit.
Yeah.
Although it just sounds really weird if you say it slow enough. Redditch.
Ditch.
Yeah, they've been workshopping the name over the last couple of centuries. They've been trying to make it work.
If you delve too deep, you'll get Redditch.
Probably. All right. Yeah, I did. Yeah, we never said it's not cursed. So let's see. So who is next? Does anyone else want anything?
I would like to have a bow and arrow, like bow and arrow set, and talismans.
Okay.
Probably used to bind what if it's more on the ghostly side of things. Hopefully to bind said beings.
Okay. So my question about the bow and arrow set, do you want it to be anything spectacular, or do you just want it to be the kind of thing you can get at a sporting goods store?
Ooh. I kind of want...
Because if you want there to be a chance of it being spectacular, we can roll for it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I can have maybe there's a set few that are for that can hit supernatural unintangible things, and then the remaining are sport
Absolutely.
stuff.
So yeah, look at your technology score and use that
crap.
for your equipment roll.
That's not good. Let's see. Oh crap. Let's see. That's what I get for mixing what I want to do and then my actual skills that I set up. Shows what I know. Okay, for some reason it's not opening up. My character sheet isn't opening up.
Oh, it's not on your character sheet. It's. Oh, that's right. Yeah, but you need to open up your character sheet in order to see what it is. Let me take a look and make sure you're good.
I saved something and then I never. Oh well, I can. I basically used the jock as stats, so I'm just.
I can see it now. I seem to be able to open it up. Can you?
That's me. I have no idea. Yeah, no, it's not. I can open up everyone else's. Oddly enough.
That is weird. The permissions are for all players on it, so you should.
Yeah.
be able
Do you
No,
want
it
me to
was
just tell you what your deck is?
I'm pretty sure it's a 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be funny. Okay. Let's see.
Okay. So 2.
Ha!
It's so you can have it. You can have a supernatural bow, but there is something terribly wrong with it.
Okay. Awesome. Yes.
Either that, yeah, okay, no, perfectly good. So, yeah, I think that it's. I think maybe it's going to be one of those things where, something, whenever you use it, it's. I think that we can work out what it is, but it could be one thing that I'm thinking is it could be something where it's it creates some kind of connection between you and anything you shoot, or another option is that every 5th shot circles back around and aims at you and you have to dodge out of the way, something like that.
I kind of like that empathy thing.
The
where
empathy
it's
thing?
Yeah, where it's just all of a sudden I am that.
Yeah. So yeah, basically everything you shoot, you feel what it feels.
Perfect.
So it is like shooting yourself. So that's the bow. But it can do certain things to supernatural entities. It can at least attack supernatural entities. That'll work.
Sure.
So that's the bow, and then you wanted some talismans. Is that right? Like a set of talismans?
Yes.
And these are like warding talismans? Is that what we're talking about, or is it something else?
Yeah, so my intention is, kind of using it, so bow and arrow is more like for attacking, but this is more like, okay, let's kind of hold them to bind them, or if anything, basically to bind them so we can maybe ask questions or whatever.
Awesome, excellent. So you must once again, if you'll make an equipment roll with a score of 2. You can hit the equipment button, and that'll just also give you its own table if
okay,
you want.
cool.
Yeah,
That'll
either
be
one.
automatic.
We can read the result, but either way.
Oh, okay. Let's try.
Okay, standard
Slightly
stuff.
higher.
So that means that when you get standard stuff, that means that it's probably not going to. We don't know whether it works or not on an occult level.
Perfect.
Necessarily.
Awesome.
So they could just be pretty charms, but they might have a psychological impact on the supernatural entities. That's probably more what they do than actually physically anything. But there's nothing wrong with them per se.
You feel better having them.
Yeah, it makes me feel secure about
Yes,
myself.
and I mean that's
Contributing to the team.
always helpful, especially if you're feeling what your enemies feel. So that's good.
Yeah. This
Would
is so
anyone
on
else
brand.
like some equipment?
Okay, Grace would like to have a couple of really simple items.
Mm-hmm.
A can of Aquanet hairspray
Okay.
and a lighter.
All right. These are things you can just acquire at the store. So unless you want them to be spectacular in some way, you can just have them.
No, I just need to set things on fire.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly reasonable. Who doesn't need to set things on fire every now and then? So is that all, or is there anything else you want?
That's all right now.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Anino, is there anything you would like to pick up to have available here for this mission?
I think Go would want to pick up or have a pair of sunglasses that kind of works like the what do they call that in Dresden Files? The wizard eye,
Oh yeah, the your the sight.
The sight. Yeah.
Cool. I like it. So yeah, you go ahead and do an equipment roll, whatever your tech is. That's how many dice you can roll for it. Okay, so once again,
This is gonna work out.
you can have a pair of sunglasses if you like. Keep in mind, you can always reject these items if you don't want to. If you decide you'd rather
Suffer
not be able
with
to
me,
find them.
Anino.
But
Go suffer with me.
there is something highly defective about this item. So you have something that can see into the past the veil into the supernatural eldritch world, but into another layer of existence. The spirit world, if some call it. Who knows what it really is called? But there is something wrong with it, and that makes it something that makes it defective. So
Can I make a suggestion?
yeah, sure.
You see, he when he puts it on, he sees not the true form of the whatever it is that he's seeing. He sees the isekai version of it, as if it was reincarnated into another world, and whatever that may be.
Ooh, interesting. So this is basically as though. So what you're seeing is basically this entire other reality. Whenever you put it on, that may have absolutely no bearing on where you are actually right now.
Right. So, like, if he put it on and he looked at Bad, for instance, he would probably see, like, the alternate reality version of Bad in a world that was made of slimes as opposed to skeletons.
Cool. I like it.
So
I
it
like
could be like wholly irrelevant, or it could be like wholly horrifying. Depending.
So, do you see like a different realm every time you put them on? Or is it the
Yes,
same one?
Yes, and it's never the same realm.
Never the same realm twice.
Every time he takes it on, it'll reset to a different alternate reality.
Oh my god. Okay. Well,
There was the one time it was Care Bears instead of, and all the skeletons were just like Scare Bears. Care Bears. I guess Scare Bears would work too.
I mean,
Scare bears.
it's entirely possible. All right. And so my last question is, how are you getting there?
Or are we not using the bone wagon?
Jim
Which is
now wondering, what is the bone wagon?
I'm
It's
more excited
basically
about the
being
bone
carried by several skeletons.
wagon. Oh, okay. So like, this is like a big sort of palanquin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's like
Oh my
it's
God.
it's like this crowd surfing, but over like 5 or 7
Crowd
skeletons.
surfing.
I'm sure that won't cause any disturbances. I mean, it's Vegas, so I mean, there's only so many disturbances that can be. It's also branding, so that's always good. So I am going to ask you to roll for the bone wagon, so that we can see how effective a bone wagon it is in fact today. How well it's working today.
What do I roll?
This is also an
Is that
equipment roll.
Equipment.
Okay, I think I'm gonna stick with just my tech, which is a 1. Wow,
Somehow.
what the heck?
This is exactly as you described it. Carried
I love
aloft
today.
through the power of necromancy. Or the animation of plastic, hard to know which.
No, Funny
the-
Bones is back in reception.
This glorious magical transport that will perfectly work to get you there. So, riding aloft this thing on the
We got off
necroplastic
on the right foot for once.
in this glorious and horrifying looking vehicle, the 4 of you set off toward the Wynn Hotel. And I think if we'd be okay with it, I think we can go ahead and go to break now for a little bit, if folks would be all right with that.
Yep.
All right. And we shall get on the case when we return. Please keep in mind, we got this campaign going, so please go forth and give 2 races, as you can see there in the in the chat, and that will be very helpful. We will see you in a little bit. we have returned. And we have now seen this as our 4 inspectors are carried aloft on this on a container of bone, looking much like something out of a sword and sorcery novel, as they are carried down the street, up the street, over, somewhat westish, I think, if I recall correctly. And they're going to head over to get access to the green. You do have to go in, I believe, through the Wynn Hotel. At least I think that's how they've set it up. So you're coming down. Basically, you can see the strip very easily as you sort of come onto it and turn in all the very tall, very glitzy buildings. As you come in to this relatively new hotel. It's only been standing about 20 years. The Wynn. So you turn and head in, and I think that as I believe you had said earlier, your manager Caleb is probably here. So he's probably been ahead and has been notified and set things up, set up some logistics so that you folks can just go in and do stuff, probably, because that, as I recall, that's basically what you say. Mostly just he networks. That's basically all he does. So you've managed to you get a few odd looks. As you step in, it looks like we're being raided. Hello, Eversrat. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming. Raiders, welcome in. We're diving into our case here to try to deal with what is perhaps a haunted golf course. We're not sure. This is a charity stream, so if you want to take a look at that is the link for that I'm putting in the chat for the organization RACES, Refugee and Immigrant Center for Education and Legal Services. Please check that out, as we are trying to raise money for that. Right now, it looks like we are at about $4.20 We are encouraging people to donate. Yes, we're encouraging people to donate whole dollar amounts, if at all possible, so that may be maintained. Yeah, it looks like we're at $4.20.69, which is a delightful combination. Nice. But do feel free to break that combination with additional monies, for it would be very much appreciated. We're almost halfway to goal. Very close. You got just about another $80 to get there. So let's see.
Halfway.
Yeah, almost to that. Well, yeah, to the halfway point. Almost there.
Yeah.
Okay. So as we are diving in here. Aha!
No,
Oh no! Everyone's identity has changed.
Who am I?
So whilst I'm moving things around,
Right, I'm the bone collector
folks are entering. Where
You
are
could
you
also
going to?
pin us in Zoom, and that will make us stay put even if our cameras go off.
Oh yeah, share the glorious knowledge, Mariam.
Yes, all that producer
Of the pin.
of the pin, the great
The
pin.
glorious pin.
Have they added a pin? Have they actually finally
they
added
have.
a working pin?
If you right click faces, and you can also literally move it with your mouse,
Oh.
so you can move
That seems
Anino
to
up
have,
to where.
No, that appears to have just made it a single face.
You
broke
keep
the fourth.
pinning. You have to pin everyone.
Oh, I have to pin everyone. Okay.
Yeah, but you can pin them in the order
Add
that we
pin.
were, and then they will be.
Sadly, we have broken the 420.
I am new to this
Someone has
technology,
broken
so I am just pinning everything randomly. Oddly enough, I don't have to do that much moving around though. With these. Okay. Let's see how that does. Okay. Excellent. All right. So you are you folks are heading through Do you head directly to the back? This is sort of a, as I recall from the one or two videos I've very briefly looked at. You have a situation where you have a kind of an open area, lots of these sort of pillars, sort of a beige sort of look around the place. Again, it's relatively new compared to a lot of these others. Where are you folks heading? Are you heading directly to the back, or are you heading elsewhere?
I guess to the spot that Andy had said we would meet up at.
Oh, Aiden, I think?
Aiden.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aiden.
Yeah.
All right.
Mia was A something.
Yeah.
You're close. Yeah, it's good enough.
Close enough.
Close enough.
All right. So you're heading through. You pass the casino, and you're where you sort of briefly you see where you briefly see your supervisor, your manager, Caleb, turn around and just sort of raise a glass, and then he will go back to drinking.
Harley just shakes their head.
I imagine he's wearing a leisure suit. I can only imagine that, or something similar.
Can we grab a couple of things from the buffet as we since we're going through the casino?
Oh yeah, you said you had to investigate the buffet, so that's very important.
Yeah. We need to make sure that do some quality control. Just.
Because how will we know unless we question it?
That's right.
And we test it with our mouths.
Yes. It's the only way to be sure.
Yes.
Awesome. So you folks are going to grab up some things from the buffet on your way so that you have sufficient fuel for this assignment. And this assignment, the assignment is starting. We're going to go right now initially for 8 tokens. We'll see where that takes us. Let's see. Did I put that in here? I did. I'm going to show another. I'm going to display something so that folks will be able to see it. This is the area behind the wind. If you want to see it, it's the golf course primarily, and then the buildings surrounding. As you're kind of heading in there. This is mostly for reference. I don't have anything really planned because you don't really do that in InSpectres. But you're going to kind of head in there, and at the entrance, sort of go through, and sort of the entrance to the to the golf club, and you'll be met there by a gentleman who looks to be roughly middle-aged. He's actually probably wearing more of a flat cap, which I forgot to grab. But he's dressed as a caddy, but he's dressed probably as one of the richest caddies you have ever seen, because most of their caddies here, apparently most of their caddies are former professional golfers at the Wynn. So he too is one. And so Aiden will greet you, and he'll sort of start talking as you head back. So he'll say, "Well, I thank y'all very much. I thank y'all very much for coming. We're gonna and he'll probably Did you, by the way, just out of curiosity, because I need to know these details, did you actually ride your vehicle of bone all the way through and into the back, or did you leave it with a valet?"
No, we totally drove the bone wagon through. Or is that okay? Do we want to valet it, or do...
Oh, no,
I mean, it's kind of hard to valet, and also it's not necessarily... I'm not sure they're going to comp us for that. Also, I'm not quite sure how the valet's going to park it, so, you got to take it with us.
I want to say that we took it with us through the buffet as well.
Yep.
We didn't even dismount from the house.
Just sort of going to casually from your from these soft pillowed
I've been
seats
using-
inside.
I've been using the pelvises of everyone to store extra food. Like, just drop it, like the bigger items, like bread and stuff. Just throw it down there.
I mean, it's what it's for, one would think.
I mean, if we try to do it in the ribs, it'll just basically fall right through
Yeah.
and hit the pelvis anyway. So
Yeah, so I mean, it'll end up there. So yes, you.
And the front wheel is called pelvis Presley.
Of course it is. So you grab so you have grabbed these. You have snacks, and you basically have come through the back. So Aiden has brought a golf cart up and just sort of looks at your vehicle and is like, okay, you got a lot of very strange looks as this was passing through. Everyone knows when the local inspectors are here. So he will take you through toward the back. He starts talking. He says, "Yeah, this as he just sort of is pointing things out. Yeah, this course has been here for quite a while. It's actually been. I think it was here just a couple of years after the original hotel, the Desert Inn, opened. And from what I hear, the Rat Pack played out here quite a lot. And he starts basically doing his tour guide thing because he doesn't know what else to say to you until you actually get to where he's going. But then you will eventually arrive at an area of the seventh hole. That is the one furthest to the right, and it's sort of in the bottom right-hand corner. It's the hole in the bottom right-hand corner that you see there, and it's sort of actually roughly where it's going to meet the land to the north of it, which is actually a couple of different holes. But the sixth hole is furthest. It's got a big water hazard in it to the north of it, and things are it's getting a little bit. The sun is still up, but it is of course now a little dimmer at this point. So it is not quite night yet, but night will happen soon. Ish. Depends on how long you want to wait. He takes you out, and so there's this area of underbrush that he'll hop down. He says, "All right, so they saw them," and he says, pointing down toward the hole, toward the seventh hole. He just sort of points all the way down. They saw them sort of running around, just kind of wandering around aimlessly, mostly on this one, and then apparently some of them were trying to get up onto the sixth, but trying to hit the water hazard, but that, I don't know how well they did there. So, not quite sure. I think, we tried to get a little clarification from the person who phoned it in from over in the Renaissance. He says, pointing, and you can see this building that looks from the ground level. That you can see the top of the building here, that across the street. That's looks wedge shaped from this angle. He says, from where they had seen it, said that they were trying to some of them were trying to climb up on each other or something to try to when it came up to the wall. He says, pointing to the wall that separates this from the businesses on the other side. And he goes over and he lifts up this undergrowth, and you see under these shrubs, you see these mounds, these large mounds of dirt, as though holes had been that have been displaced, and there are holes inside them, large holes going down. And he says, I have no idea what to make of it.
Are they people-sized holes?
Yeah, a person could fit through. They're about the size of a person. Maybe, thereabouts.
Are they dug about? Are the holes as maybe about 6 feet deep?
So who is investigating the holes first?
I think Go is probably going to investigate them first,
Oh.
and you'll see him. He hasn't really said much. He doesn't talk a whole lot, but he does that old man meandering walk. You know, slightly stooped over. His hands are holding behind his back, and you know, he'll mosey up to the edge of one of these, and he's just going to lean in and peer over to see what's
All right.
inside.
So, roles where you're looking around at things is generally I put into the category of academics as you're trying to learn information here. And so this is going to be your academic stat. You're making a skill roll for academics.
This is not going to be good.
Okay, fair. So
Oh, okay.
you have a mostly positive result, but you also have to include a negative or humorous effect. So you look over. What happens? What do you see?
Looks over and what does he see? He's going to see just leftover shovels and equipment there. And he's going to see hands sort of just sticking out and up as if they were buried like in the holes, but you know, it wasn't completely covered up. It was like someone just got bored and decided enough was enough.
Ah, excellent.
But he can't tell if it's, you know, alive or dead.
So you're looking at this, and ordinarily this would be, I would call this, as you're seeing, these are clearly human hands, apparently, that are sticking up out of here. I would ordinarily call this a 1-die stress roll, but as it happens, how many cool dice do you have right now?
2.
You're fine. No one else has looked at it yet, but you're fine.
You'll just hear a nani. And
I guess
I think he's going to reach down and try to grab one of the hands.
Okay. So you're sort of kneeling down, and you're like, so you're in the process of doing that. You see go over by one of the holes, reaching down, is trying to grab and do something. Is anyone else doing anything right now?
yeah, I'd like to also kind of investigate the holes, but maybe try to see if I can find any kind of like footprints or sort of see where they've gone or who's been here, sort of a thing, via sort of tracks and footprints.
Excellent. So the important question that I have is, because there are multiple holes here to check out, my question is, at any point, are you looking over to see what Go is doing, or are you just mostly focusing on your particular holes that you're checking out?
I think I'm probably seeing Go investigate the hole, like, or be nearby and see if there's any tracks near that particular hole.
Okay, so you go over to look over at that hole, and before you start looking for tracks, you notice that he's pulling up a pair of human hands. So I'm going to need you to make a 1-die stress roll for me, please.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so it's
I'm annoyed.
So just your next skill roll, you're going to suffer a 1-die penalty. So that's so you just for whatever your next roll is. So what is your reaction to this when you see this?
I go. I basically say, "Go! Don't touch that, because otherwise, if it turns out they were murdered, they might think you murdered them."
I think you're muted.
You're muted.
That's never stopped me in Japan.
Okay, but we are not in Japan.
What happens in Vegas?
I suppose that's true. And Yeah, and I go and I
Start looking around.
Yeah, I start looking around.
Okay. I'd like you to go ahead for me and make your academics roll, please.
All right. So that would be 3.
Okay, good.
That's-
Okay, you have found a detail that is helping you with the mission. You're getting a mission token out of this. So this is a good result. What do you find? What happens?
I think I maybe find a path of the Shamblers that were described earlier, that we could follow if we want. And I think also that there's like glitter in each of the, like, as if the shoes or whatever was just dropping glitter. It's really fine, like I would say like almost performer clothes or something. But there's a path we can follow if we choose to follow it later.
Excellent. Yes, you see a path stretching. It seems to be stretching north toward the to skirt around the 6th hole. As far as you can tell, it looks like there's it. Yeah, so it's you can see this trail that's heading up to that side, and it stops kind of. Well, yeah, you haven't followed it yet, but you can see where it's going as this is going on. So you have found that.
Oh, can I add one more thing?
Sure.
And it smells a lot like chocolate, bananas, peanut butter, and bacon.
There are a lot of these smells that are intermingling of these various things, and these different foodstuffs, as though perhaps the buffet was more integral to the existence of these things than we had thought previously.
Smells like brunch.
It does indeed.
But specifically the peanut butter and the bacon and the banana.
Now, those are definitely elements that are in there. So let's see what else we have happening here. So I will let Go finish pulling this this out before we have something else happen. So you're just basically trying to pull these hands up to see what it is that's there, and I'm going to ask you to make an athletics roll for me, please. Amazing. Okay, so something amazing is about to happen as a result of your doing this. You're going to gain 2 mission tokens for this. So there's like some kind of amazing revelation you're about to see as a result of doing of pulling this up. What do you see? What happens?
So the hands like grip Go's hands, and as he's pulling it up, it turns out it's not attached to a human body. It's just actually the frame of a giant mirror. For some reason, there was a mirror buried in this grave. Yeah, but the whole border of the mirrors around the reflective part of it, is just made of arms grasping together, like some sort of weird occult arms across America thing, or hands across America.
So yes, you're pulling this up, and there is very much this very strange this mirror that is apparently key to a lot of what's happening here. Has been buried here with these what look like hands on them. It's this weird mirror that folks have right now. What's everyone else doing? What are Harley and Grace doing right now?
Grace.
Grace is on her phone, Googling to see if she can find anything interesting about the history of this golf course.
Ah, okay.
That maybe didn't come up in the tour guide spiel.
Awesome. So you're doing a So you're doing a search here. Let me just check something real quick for the sake of
Are you using Redditch?
Yeah, it's a great question. Well, actually, no, only you have access to Redditch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that
That's
was
best
special.
you let me touch your books.
Yeah, dude, let.
Yeah, I think Grace might be the only one I allowed to touch books because you're a librarian.
Okay.
Interesting. So I guess the question becomes, then Grace, are you using this book, or are you using?
Well, if I have
maybe
the
a combination
chance to
of the two.
use the weird book, I'm going to use the weird book.
Absolutely.
But but of course, I'm going to cross-reference. I'm a librarian.
Of course, absolutely. So go ahead and roll academics for me.
Okay.
We have got another 6. So as you are finding information out, you have an amazing result. You have an amazing result coming up. That's going to give you 2 more mission tokens as you're looking through this thing. So something amazing happens as you're looking this through. Some amazing piece of information, perhaps, or something amazing happens with the book itself because it is a supernatural thing. What happens?
I think I sort of just sort of like let the book fall open and let the pages do their thing, and then just stick my finger in, and use my intuition to find, the exact reference that I need. And then you might hear me like actually talking to the book out loud, whether or not it answers out loud. But I seem to be having a very animated conversation with the book.
Is there anything in particular you're talking to the book about? Is it revealing anything to you?
Maybe it tells me something about this mirror.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I just need a quick synonym for something here really quickly. I'm going to the thesaurus. Sure, why not? So yes, this mirror, it's very odd. What you're looking across. Apparently, as you're getting these references, you get this picture of the mirror being drawn. That apparently what you're holding, what Go is currently holding, is known as the Elvian phylactery. And apparently, this was a mirror crafted at the special request of Elvis Presley. Designed to summon forth unrealized souls. Apparently he was going to use them in some of his performances, but he passed away before anyone actually saw it happen. And apparently it's also potentially quite dangerous to anyone holding it and looking into it.
You mean like Go is doing right now?
Yes, the kind of like Go is doing right now. If the conditions are
Okay.
are such, it's basically, it's hard to know. Yes, no, Go is apparently over looking into the mirror right now. It's just an image of you in there right now.
Hey, Gramps, you might not want to look into that mirror too long.
I think this mirror is broken. There's no reflection in it.
And I believe it's good. If that's not a cue, I've never heard one. So I feel as though this is the point at which the hands are going to turn and essentially try to grab you by the elbows. And I think everyone sees this. This is as the mirror itself, the image in it turns into this sort of vortex, this sort of gold lame vortex that is trying to suck you in. And so let me just check something real quick to see what we would want for that. I think that the first thing is yes, you're quite suddenly seeing. Yeah, you're being suddenly quite immediately confronted by an immediate supernatural effect trying to pull you to another dimension. So that would actually be a 3. I would call this a 3-die stress roll. So for you, that's a 1-die stress roll, basically. Actually, no. You roll the 3 dice, but you ignore the lowest 2 because you have 2 cool right now. Okay, so you were just frazzled. So you're going to lose 2 dice from an appropriate skill as this is happening. Yeah, you folks can see this. You're going to see this this thing happen where the mirror has come to life. Appears to be trying to pull Go in. And, Kupo, you haven't done anything yet, so you actually are for the first to see this. You're the first on hand to notice this as this is happening. As the others are kind of looking and sort of, Grace is looking up, and Bad is kind of starting to follow this path. Bad, I will say you think you might even see somebody down further on where where these tracks lead, but you're not quite there yet. So
Also, the ruckus probably gets my attention.
there's a bit of a ruckus over here. So what are we doing?
So yeah, throughout this time when Grace was kind of doing the researching thing and Go was being an old man, I think Harley was just at the ready, kind of just observing, and kind of had like talismans at the ready because they knew that Go was kind of messing around with whatever was in there, so they were just gonna just kind of be alert. And so when the arms start turning, just by reflex, they have a talisman whipped out and kind of powers it up, so it kind of flares to life in this blue light, and then would shoot at would kind of just shoot at it and try to bind it.
Excellent. Okay. So let's see. What kind of thing do we think that is? You're trying to bind a mirror. So let's wait. Well, let me consult my chart here. If you're trying to do something to this mirror to turn it off. Actually, honestly.
Oh no! I don't like that laugh.
Yes. You got this talisman. You're trying to. So, I feel as though. See, there are 2 ways we can go with this. Neither of them are probably great.
Awesome.
Because one of them is this could be considered a working. Here's how I'm going to figure this out. So is there something? Is Harley pouring any of themselves into this, or is this more you're trying to just operate the talisman? Or are you just trying to turn the talisman on, or are you actually? or are you actually trying to do some sort of internal thing before you throw it?
You know what? I kind of want to say these talismans don't work like on its own. It kind of requires some energy from the person powering it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I think like Harley is like powering it with their own like essence, so to speak, and powering it up that way to
Okay.
to a mission. So I would say so.
Okay. So, and then my follow-up question is Harley doing this consciously or not? Or not consciously, do you think?
Ooh. I want to say at this point they've practiced talisman work for a long time. Even though with the InSpectres they probably haven't had a chance to use it much, but they've practiced and trained so long that it is a reflex. So I think this is just like power, go. Like just power and aim at it.
Okay, so you're basically trying to do it like flipping a switch.
Yeah.
Excellent. That is a technology roll.
God dang it! What could I have said to make it? No, I'm just kidding.
Because the other option was academics, so I don't know if that would have been much better.
Actually, no, I don't think so. Actually, so never mind. That's skill, right? Yeah, skill roll.
That's a skill roll for your whatever your technology skill is. Remember, you can use dice from the pools if you want to pull from the credit
true.
card for this one.
Now might be a good time.
Would it be from the credit card?
Well, yeah, the
Yes.
credit card is for technology rolls. Remember, so you can do that, or you can pull from
right.
the bank, which is for anything.
No, we have 3. Let's take 1 die from.
All right.
Do I just scooch it? Okay, you
Yeah,
did it. Yay.
So you'll have an
So it's a
additional die for
3.
this.
Okay, hopefully that helps somewhat.
You get an amazing result. Something amazing happens that helps you get even closer to solving this case. And we're actually up to like 7 tokens. I think we might actually be able to go for 10. I think we can probably try for 10.
Okay.
So we've got up to 7 tokens. So something amazing happens that advances the case when you do this. What happens?
Shoot. Okay, so Harley shoots the talisman, and it flares on impact with the mirror, and you see it kind of flare up because I guess it's like the talisman is going into effect, and it kind of vibrates, and then all of a sudden a spirit kind of floats up from the mirror surface, and is just kind of like, looks like they're struggling, they're kind of just, it just kind of appeared.
Okay. So Go, the mirror is no longer attacking you. But it now seems the mirror has gone dark again, and this spirit, who appears to be kind of clad in gold lame, will be drifting. Will be drifting just above the. Drifting just above the thing. It's in gold lame. It's got its hair sort of slicked back, and it's wearing sunglasses. It looks kind of like it does look somewhat like Elvis, but it is clearly not Elvis. So So what are we all doing? Now oh, by the way, there's a spirit. I should mention. So yeah, someone has just a spirit has just come soaring up out of this thing, right in front of Go, right in front of Harley. So that's a bit disturbing. So I'm going to call that. That would be a two die stress roll, which again Go has cool, so Go is fine. But Harley, I think, does need to make that roll.
Okay, you
so
said 2?
Yes, 2 die stress roll. Yeah. Okay, stressed.
I'm
You're
stressed.
going to lose a die from a skill. So you get to choose which skill. But yeah, you're gonna mark your skill further down. But this stresses you out. So what do you think? How do you react?
I don't because the talismans were due to the earlier roll are kind of glitchy at best.
Yes.
They didn't really expect it to actually work this time around. So that kind of freaked them out a bit. That kind of spooked them. So I think that kind of jostled their mind a bit. So I think it'll for any future any physical athletic rolls that would affect them. Because they're kind of just shaken up a bit.
Well, yeah. So yeah, basically, it's just you're just sort of sort of stressed. I mean, yeah, mechanically we don't have to say. I just was curious how you were.
Yeah, I think I kind of freeze up and maybe stumble a bit, and then.
Yeah, it's just sort of oh crap. Okay, awesome.
Like that.
So you see this spirit that sort of is just sort of turning around and looking at everyone, and is asking, "Why are you disturbing the slumber of the Elvian horde?" We will never find our rest here. We will never escape to where they need to go.
What now? And Harley just looks at Bod and Grace.
The Velvet Elvises. They're trapped in the mirror.
And I think I see one further down those bushes.
Yeah, you see now actually sort of started now kind of trying to scale the wall. You see what looks like this thing. You're not sure if it's completely like a spirit, but it's just sort of like it's shambled up to the wall and is now just sort of kind of like climbing up it. And on the far end near the 6th hole, it's climbing up, trying to kind of get, and it's got maybe a couple of friends too, that are trying to make it up to the top of the wall, and just sort of shamble their way across the tops of the buildings toward the monorail.
Can I try to distract them and have them kind of come after me, or kind of lead them to where the mirror is or something?
Yeah, what do you want? Yeah, what do you want to? How do you want to try and distract them? What do you want to do?
I think I want to sort of do I person am incapable of doing it, but do the big long two finger whistle.
Ah, yes, I can't do that either, but I know which one you're talking about.
And be like, hey, face that way.
Sort of. Okay, so you want to try to just get their attention and make them think they're going the wrong way. Awesome. So this is going to be a contact roll.
Oh, joy. I guess I'm gonna use a bankroll by having, let's say I use some money to get a really good whistle or something like
Excellent.
that.
like a sports whistle or just.
Yes.
Excellent.
So that would be, I think, 2 dice for me to roll.
Yeah. And yeah.
Could I say I got it from like Hot Topic, since my talent is I'm a Hot Topic goth?
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so then that's 3, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's not even a question. Excellent. So something good happens as a result. As you blow this whistle, you try to just sort of which cries out shrilly, gets their attention as they're just sort of shambling across. The one on top of the building just sort of turns and just sort of looks in your direction.
I also feel like from our pelvic storage, I actually pull out something that had peanut butter and bacon and some bread and some banana, and I kind of stick it together and wave it like a like a carrot, like a carrot on a stick sort of a thing.
So you're getting a single mission token from that, which brings us much closer to the end here. As you see these sort of, they halt as they're trying to escape the golf course. And what happens? What good result happens? When you do
I
that?
think they follow me, and I'm basically kind of, I don't know whether it's a chase or whether it's like a march, but a shuffle. But it's sort of like I'm kind of running and kind of occasionally going back and waving the sandwich. And sort of being like very loudly saying, the rest of the horde's coming through.
Bad dashes across the green as these things now clamber down and are now chasing after them. these strange zombie-like spirits clad in gold lame are all shuffling their way across the green. One of them sort of like for a moment almost falls in the water hazard on the 6th hole, manages to claw themselves back up, and they're starting to just sort of try to get a move on. It's really weird. It's not exactly a run. It's not exactly a slow walk. It's somewhere in between. It's like a fast shamble, in fact, as these things just sort of are breaking out across, following Bad. What's everyone else doing?
I think Go is getting a little bit impatient as the Elvian horde is shuffling ever so slowly back towards the mirror. He's just checking his watch, and then he just hears him mutter something about simulcast of Demon Slayer.
Should we just pick up the mirror and meet them halfway?
Oh yeah, should we do something about the mirror? Like, is it kind of just there in the... Are you holding it? Who's holding it? Is anyone holding it?
No, it's just standing there because when you zapped it,
It's still bound,
go.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh.
I figured maybe like
The
two
spirit's
of
just
the
sort of
hands.
hovering there like...
Yeah. Oh, I thought like 2 of the hands would have like ungrasped. And
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
just-
No, you're no longer
standing.
grabbed.
Yeah. No, I just thought that the hands
It's like a
would have
claw
just
foot mirror.
it just plants itself, so it's like
Yeah.
doing a handstand
Yeah.
of some sort. But yeah, no. So Go is just taking a step back, making sure he's more than an arm's length away from the mirror, and let's see him take off his fedora, run his hands. His head's shaven, but there's like a lot of wavy lines through it, giving it like a devil fruit pattern to his head. And he's just standing there waiting.
Okay. Just waiting to see what's going to happen here. Is anyone else doing anything? Or just basically... Yeah. No, Grace has made a suggestion. What's going on here?
I don't know. Do we are we trying to send them back through the mirror?
They're heading towards the buffet. Is that right? Bad.
I think Bad pointed them
think
towards the
you're-
buffet. I'm sorry. I think you were muted. Was that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry on my mic. I was like, no, I was actually running towards y'all in the mirror because I figured
Okay.
Oh,
maybe put like I said the buffet like as a sort of like a
Yeah,
distraction, but
yeah.
I was not actually heading to the buffet.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so Bad is leading them back in your direction, and toward where the mirror is lying right now, hands down
All right.
on the green.
Well, I guess I will sort of like take up like a guard position on one side of the mirror to try to herd them into the mirror so they don't wander away.
Okay. So you're trying to catch them in the mirror, and the spirit is a little upset by this, because this is basically, you know, it's they're trying to find their way to a better place, but alas, so hence why they're trying to leave the mirror and deal with it, to find a better place to slumber. But as you've got this, so I guess the question is, do you think that the mirror is just going to be able to catch them, or right now it's been deactivated by this talisman?
I don't know.
So there's no passing through the mirror right
What?
now necessarily. But what do you want to do? What do you want to try and do?
I want to actually, if I can figure out how to dial the mirror to somewhere else.
What's the right handshake?
You know,
I just imagined like a rotary, like old school, like.
the secret handshake.
Yes. All right. So you're trying to figure out the right secret handshake
Figure
for this
out
mirror.
somewhere we can send them.
All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and do this as an academics roll. So this could be for the entire ball of wax, potentially. We'll have to see how this
Okay.
goes.
Come on.
No, that's great.
Okay. Not great. So you may suggest, you may be given a chance to suggest a single positive, albeit minor effect, as this goes. So something not great
I totally
happens.
forgot I could have added my librarian talent to that.
Well,
Maybe give her a reroll if she.
it librarian talent for, well, you're trying to I'm trying to figure
Yeah,
out
I don't
how
know if that would.
knowing how
yeah.
libraries work helps you with this mirror in particular.
No,
Um,
unless I can find something in the book.
you're trying to look something up on the mirror. This is you trying to directly
Anyway,
figure out how the mirror works, as far as I can tell. You know, so, but yeah, so something not great happens. What do we think? Something with a silver lining, possibly. A single minor silver lining.
hmm.
This music.
You're getting closer.
I think, I don't know, maybe I managed to send them somewhere, but I don't know where. But they're
Excellent.
not here anymore, so it's not our problem.
Oh, I see. So
Oh my
I
god.
don't know. It needs to be not great. Okay, yes. No, actually, I'll tell you what. Yes, that's what happens. The silver lining is that they're not here. So here's what happens. You hold it up. You think you've got it figured out. It's like, okay, this is going to send them somewhere. And you see them run forward, sort of, trying to run. This is very... They leap forward, and they dive in. The gold lame pattern starts. The spirit gets sucked back in as you sort of pull off the talisman and dial this up on the mirror. They dive through. They're absorbed into the mirror. The mirror goes black. And a moment later, you hear a scream arise from the hotel.
Wow. Not even.
Is it the buffet area?
It's probably from the buffet area.
Well, the good news is I figured out how to turn the mirror on.
I suppose we should try again. Take the mirror back to the buffet.
I think we kind of have to.
And Ghost just looks around for the bone wagon.
It's not very far. You used it to carry you all out this way. You will see that the moment the screaming starts, that Aiden, who has been out here and has been terrified by all of this, just sort of hears it and just immediately is like, "Oh crap!" and begins running back toward the hotel. The moment the screaming starts.
I guess we pile on the bone wagon.
I think what'll happen though is Go will attach the mirror to the front of the bone wagon.
Ah, nice.
Before they all climb up on top of it. So now you've got this.
The lead skeleton's carrying the mirror, facing front.
We're going back to the buffet. Like we're going back into the hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You all race. I assume you're instructing the skeletons to go at least double time. Like
It's like
skeletons are-
Flintstones kind of.
Flintstone style.
They're racing across the green, over hill and dale, past the sand traps, past the water hazards. Once again,
Do we grab Aiden along with us?
yeah, I think you're going to catch up to him eventually as he's trying to get over there. You pick him up, he's like, ah! you dump him in the back of the palanquin. As your skeletons go charging into the Wynn Hotel to the buffet, where you shall see the buffet is a lovely, just sort of cream-colored room with again pillars set up, kind of these sort of modern-looking, very, very tastefully modern-looking, sort of orange and red padded chairs around these circular tables, with this sort of motif of a kind of green and white tiled floor between sort of white marble floor areas, and between these pillars, under these lovely striped red awnings, is an array of food underneath this buffet. Now, that's the pleasant part of what's in the room. The unpleasant part is that you have rather a large number of current hotel residents and buffet customers, including your manager, are now kind of like have got these tables flipped forward as these spirits, these three shambling zombie spirits, are now raiding this buffet and lobbing peanut butter sandwiches and other forms of food as projectiles over the buffet and out toward people to keep them away from it, whilst they try to take advantage of said buffet.
Could be worse.
So, this is a kind of a horrifying sight. as you see, this room is this room is now being viciously attacked by these food projectiles and these spirits that are just kind of roving through and doing this. So this is going to be. Let's see. Who is in front of the of this? Who's the first to see this? Who's the first into the room?
Didn't we all kind of enter the room at the same time?
You're kind of all entering the room at the same time.
I mean, we're all in the palanquin, right?
Yeah.
Like the bone wagon. Yeah,
That's
so.
true.
Yeah.
All right, what the heck? This is this is going to be a 4-die stress roll.
What the heck? Okay.
For all of us?
Yes.
Yes. Oh god, here we go.
Okay.
Oh, another 3? Okay.
So remember, Anino, you can ignore the 2 lowest of your result. Let's see. Has everyone rolled?
I have rolled.
I have rolled.
Yeah.
Okay, I think everyone has rolled. So let's see. Looking first, as I scroll down through here, looks like Alyssa has gotten a 1, which is a complete and total nuclear meltdown. You lose your cool if you have any, and you lose a number of skill dice equal to the number of... You're going to lose 4 skill dice right this moment. Bad is apparently annoyed, and is just going to suffer another 1-die penalty the next roll. Harley is stressed. You're going to lose a skill die from somewhere. You feel free to pick that out. Mm-hmm. And that means that go, since you're ignoring the 2 lowest, it's blasé. Nothing. You don't care. Doesn't matter.
Food.
Like, this is the first zombie ghost food fight you've seen in your life.
Yeah, no, he'll stand up in the palanquin and he's going to unzip his track jacket and throw it down and just stare menacingly at the food fighting ghosts who may or may not be Nova impersonators.
Yeah,
Just
it's
yell at...
sort of murky on that point, really.
Yeah, not entirely sure.
I just yell out, hey, there are starving children in this world.
But can we get the mirror back online?
Can we?
I can try with Redditch.
Yeah, Grace seems to be having a nuclear meltdown of some kind right now.
Yeah, I guess I'm
Interpreting
gonna
that
grab Redditch and
You-
try to.
Grace is laughing too hard to function.
Did she laugh herself off the palanquin?
Maybe.
So Bad wants to try Redditch to do something with Redditch right now.
Yep. So would that be academics to figure out how to properly
How to
turn it
activate
on?
the mirror properly? Yeah. Yes, absolutely. That is an academics roll.
Okay,
You
and
still
because
have,
I feel
you still
like
have library dice.
yeah, I'm gonna use 2 of them if that's okay. Can we use multiple or
Yeah.
just 1?
You can use
Okay, I'm
multiples.
gonna use 2 of them. And I get a -1, so I get to roll 5 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make sure.
Okay, not great. Apparently. Wow. Okay.
All that luck's gone.
So you have something not great is happening, but with a silver lining. So, what do you think the bad news is, and what do you think the silver lining is?
I think the bad news is we won't know where they're gonna go again. But the silver lining is I found a silver lining that might be at least not the hotel. Like not, it'll be somewhere further away.
Yeah. So you still have no. So when you try to activate the mirror, you know that you're not going to know where they're ending up, but not here. That's the important thing. Not this hotel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably further away than at least you did it before.
Yeah.
So you know that there's at least that. Yeah. You find something where it's like, okay, distance. You can at least. It's not an exact measurement, but you can at least get it so that it's a bit further away.
I actually found the silver lining in the mirror that had
there it is. It's an actual silver lining that you have to program. So, armed with this knowledge, you tell everyone this. What are we doing?
You're muted.
Go realizes that they're going to need to draw the spirits back to the mirror, at least. So, he's going to issue a foaming mouth angry challenge at them using the intimidation tactics that he learned from his time in the Tojo clan. So, the track jacket is off. He's just wearing a sleeveless undershirt. He's got murder grandpa body. And you just hear him go, "Come on!" and his hands are like motioning towards Adam.
You're trying to get them to charge. This, I'm afraid, is going to be a contact roll.
Yeah, that's fine.
And we do still have one bank die left. I didn't even look at the result of the other bank die. We still have one bank die left if you want to add that to it.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right. And what's... Oh, yeah, that's right. Go ahead. Sorry. Amazing. So an amazing result happens when you do this. That's going to solve this case entirely. Because we're hitting our 10 mission tokens. Tell me, what does this look like? What happens?
So, for whatever reason, it was that moment that Go remembered a little bit of some pop trivia. And as he was issuing the challenge, he yells out, "Chuck Berry was much better!" And Hound Dog plagiarized. And that angered the spirit in the mirror to the point where it actually tuned into a place on another plane entirely from this existence, so they wouldn't actually be just shifted to another location in Las Vegas. They would go to an alternate reality Vegas, I guess. Maybe one where Elvis was still alive.
All right. So then these ghost zombie spirits surge forth, the mirror pinwheeling with this gold lame image raging as they leap forward toward you, and it's almost in slow motion. As they leap forward toward the front of your palanquin, the mirror right there, your lead skeleton holds it up. They dive through.
What was the name of the skeleton that would be holding the
Elvis Presley.
That is Elvis Presley. In fact,
Of course it would be.
as if to say, "Come on home."
Did Pelvis get insulted by that line? I wonder.
Up to you.
Maybe. It was just like, it doesn't really say much. It's upset, but it does its job. And as a result, these spirits dive through and vanish into another world. A world, a plane, the Elvian plane, where they may go happily betwixt the glorious gold casinos and the wonderful buffets, and visit this place that is sort of an amalgamation of Las Vegas and Graceland. Congratulations, you have defeated the stray spirits. And now as our sort of coda, once again, we're back to the reality show cameras for just a moment. As everyone's going to get one last thing they get to tell the public as part of this interview series that is going on. And so we're going to go around and you get to tell me what's the last shot we see, the last thing we see they show on this reality show of your character, and what they say, and the last thing they say in their interview. And who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. You go. So camera goes to you. What do we see?
Yeah. So, Bad looks to the camera and is like, "Yeah, that was quite the mission that we had today. But the good news is, I got to collect some bones." And then you see cut to a shot of Bad assembling an entire turkey from the buffet, and then sort of being like, "Oh, hello there, hello there, gobbly wobbly," and you kind of almost hear like this otherworldly gobble gobble from the turkey as it's getting up and walking around and doing like a pet trick.
Turkey necromancy, glorious thing. Excellent. All right, and who's next?
Everybody want to see a magic trick? Watch me make our paycheck disappear.
Do we see anything happen, or?
Grace probably, clicks the computer mouse and pays some bills.
Oh God. Yeah, that's fair. Yes. Also very sad, very relatable.
Yeah.
Yes.
The cycle just continues.
It's too real. It's too real.
It is too real. All right, and who's next?
I think the camera will sort of just pan into Go's office, and he's just sitting there with his jacket off and a cup of coffee, and he's just watching anime on the television, and he just turns over his shoulders. "Don't bother me. I'm finally getting to catch Demon Slayer Mugen Train. I missed it over the summer. Thanks, pandemic." And then the camera just sticks there for a moment, and then you just see this irked expression as he slowly turns his head to look back at the camera, and then the camera just shakes as if the person holding it ran out of the room before he or she or they got dismantled.
Awesome. And so what's the last thing we see of Harley?
So Harley is sitting in front of the camera and is for some reason dressed up like in the gold lame, similar to what the spirits look like, and kind of has a frustrated, kind of like a put upon expression, and it's just like, well, I mean, on the one hand, we made a great comeback. InSpectres is probably gonna do well. I heard Grace kind of squee in joy for paying some bills, I think. But apparently there were some videos being recorded, and people recognized me from the show, from Q, and apparently the showrunner liked the idea of gold-dressed Elvis lookalike, so we have our new theme. So here I am. And I think Aiden somehow managed to get some deal where some portion of the money goes to us. I don't know how, like, we don't have rights to these ghosts or anything, but I guess Aiden did their job for once. So, it's kind of a challenge for me physically. I've never danced like a skeleton before, so I kind of go through Bod's buddies, and then it kind of switches over to like a montage of Harley training with the skeleton bones of like how to shuffle dance.
Oh my god.
Very Thriller-like, and Harley just kind of looks at the camera and like very, very much like The Office, Jim face, just like, yeah, that's my life right now. Help me.
Understandable.
Do you hear like a gobble gobble in the background?
Oh, God.
If they hear it, like, you just see definitely the Jim face of the eyes going, and that's it, and then it cuts off.
Oh my god. Awesome. Excellent. All right. And that, folks, is InSpectres. Thank you all very much for joining us. This has been a delight. I just want to, one more time, I implore folks to go and check out Races. Right now the campaign for Races. We are currently, it looks like, up to, what was it, 440 thereabouts? 440 and 69 cents. Nice. So please, go forth and pledge. This is a very worthy cause. Please go and check it out. So we're going to go around and let folks do our outros. Folks, tell folks where they can find you, and any final thoughts you had about this session, or what have you, or plug anything you like, whatever you like. And we're going to go once again in reverse order. So we will be starting with Alyssa.
Hey everybody, my name is Alyssa. You can find me on Twitter at ShawTales, and you can see me run a one-shot of the Dresden Files on the Wandering DM channel in about 2 weeks, exactly 2 weeks from today. And check out my Twitter for my Ko-fi page and my Etsy shop, and I make cool stuff like this for spooky season. Yeah. This was hilarious, and I'm I think Grace kind of ended up like me, just giggling through the whole end of the last scene. Like
Excellent. Awesome. And now over to Kupo.
Hello, I'm Kupo, and I played Harley Way. You can find me over at Twitter at KupoPrince, KupoPrince. I also stream on Twitch at KupoPrince as well. My schedule's a bit wonky because I'm applying for grad school, so my schedule is very on and off, but you can find me eventually there. But you can see my Twitter for any updates, whether I'll be playing tabletop RPGs or I'll be playing indie video games on my stream. This was a delight to play. I like this kind of setting. So I was, and Anino is my buddy, my pal, so of course I was gonna jump on this train. Happy birthday, friendo. Glad I got to finally play with you.
Good again. Totally cool.
For sure. And thank you to those who donated money. It's for a good cause. We're celebrating it with a dear friend of mine. So, win-win.
Excellent. Awesome. And now over to Mariam.
Hi everyone. I played Bad to the Bone on this wonderful game. I loved it. If you want to check me out, you can follow me on Twitter at media_junkie. I do a lot of stuff on Utopia. I'm also the co-host of their Super Geek, which is a one-shot series where we feature gender marginalized GMs and also feature lots of games that are written by gender marginalized designers. And we have a game next Thursday, which is Women Are Werewolves. And also we're going to have a wonderful panel on Big Bad Online, which is from Geek to Super Geek, a behind the scenes look on how we run our show. So do check that out, and you can get all those details on my Twitch. And yeah, this is such a great game. Thank you so much for running it, and then thank you so much for asking me to be on it. This is a wonderful way to get to play with you again after a long while. And happy birthday, friend!
Thank you.
Yay. And finally, over to the one whose birthday week it is, Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino4K. I had a great time with everybody. So glad everybody enjoyed this game. I loved everybody's characters, but I just loved how over the top the Bone Collector is. Just the idea of being carried through on a skeleton liquid. I bet that made the Caesar's Palace folks very, very envious of the InSpectres group. But
do they hire out the skeleton crew from us occasionally?
Yeah, maybe they'll probably start for around Halloween.
Very popular on Halloween.
So, next place you'll find me is Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time over on the Weave the Tale channel, where I will be returning to Pope World Build's Mutants and Masterminds game. So definitely tune in for that if you are into superhero games. The next in the one-shot series for this month will be held over on the Utopia channel at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I will actually be taking turn at running a game. I know, first time ever. I'll be running this game. The Party at Tiffany Burrell's House. It's the 90s movie that nobody ever probably wanted, but it's here. And Mariam, I believe, will be joining in on that as well. So if you want to see what Mariam's take is on a delightful over-the-top role, a 90s teen movie, definitely tune in for that one. I have no idea what I'm going to expect.
Fantasies.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Okay. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for organizing this, and for basically doing all the hard work to get all this together, and for what you're doing, just this thing that you do annually, this the raising for charity. Awesome, very awesome. All right, folks. Well, who am I? I have no idea. I'm Jim. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and various other things. The only thing currently going on RPG-wise on the channel is Invisible Sun on Saturday nights. We're taking tomorrow night off, though, so it won't be this week. But so all you have to look forward to is just me playing City Skylines for a little while, for the next little bit. But we will be back probably a week from Saturday with that. And there's more coming. We have around the end of the month, end of October, beginning of November, a game of Sunken will be happening on Thursday nights. Sarah will be running it, and it's basically Trophy Dark, but on the water. So for those of us who enjoy nautical horror, you gotta come check that out. So I can't wait. Well, that's all I've got for right now. Let's see. When we hit the end card, I'm gonna send a raid. Let's see. I believe, well, speaking of Weave the Tale, they're doing something, they're doing a chef game. They're doing a chef-themed RPG. So, that looks fascinating. It's so we can probably see if we can catch the tail end of that. Let's go over and say hi to them. Feel free to hang on if you are so inclined and say hi to them with us. That, again, will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you all of a sudden. Farewell.